The first of 6 events in the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating marks the beginning of an Olympic year. For the reigning U.S. champion Timothy Gable, it's an opportunity to build on his best season to date. The Quad King now plans to make a run at an Olympic medal. For Michael Weiss, a chance to rebound from a nightmarish season of injury and defeat. The former American champ looks to return to the form that captured 2 world bronze medals. And Matt Savoy hopes to emerge from the shadow of the favorites to round out a powerful American presence. While in ice dance, Canadians Bourne and Kratz headline a field of Olympic hopefuls. The men and the ice dancers get the competitive season underway at Smart One Skate America next. And a good look at some of the scenery surrounding Colorado Springs. Beautiful part of the country, especially this time of the season, and a city that has as much figure skating tradition as just about any other in the country. We welcome you inside the World Arena. Terry Gannon along with Susie Wynn. Dick Button joins us in a little bit for Smart One's Skate America, the first event of the competitive figure skating season, the first in the Grand Prix of Figure Skating. 6 events in all over the next 6 weeks on 3 different continents. Skaters can skate in up to 3 of those events, but only 2 count in the standings. And then the top 6 from each discipline move on to the Grand Prix final, which you can see on December 15th and 16th on ABC Sports. And here are the standings after the compulsory dance. Shailene Bourne, Victor Kratz from Canada in the lead. Good battle going on, though, between them and the Lithuanians, Drobiazko and Vanagas. Chait and Suknovsky of Israel in 3rd. The Russians in 4th, ahead of the Americans, Tanith Belbin and Benjamin Augusta. And this original dance gets underway with a team representing France, Magali Sori and Mikhail Stefunin. Magali originally from Lyon, and Mikhail born in Moscow. They finished 18th at last season's World Championships. This original dance, 2.5 minutes long. And worth 30% of the overall score. The compulsory dance is already having taken place here in Colorado Springs. And the free dance to come. You can see that along with the men's free skate over on ABC Sports this Sunday beginning at 12:30 Eastern.
We're opening up with a flamenco rhythm. The dancers get to choose between tango, flamenco, paso doble, and waltz.
This is a team that's been together since 1999 when they first got together, and Mikhail came over from Russia. He didn't speak any French. Magali didn't speak any Russian, so they decided to speak English together, which is how they communicate all the time now.
That makes fighting more fun. You can't understand one another.
4th at the French National Championships last season.
You can see some of their inexperience, only being together 2 years. They don't quite get the speed that they need. They haven't mastered a lot of strength in their positioning in their upper bodies together. This is a tango. The characteristic of an Argentine tango is very male dominant. There's also a more subtle tango, which is the Cuban style, and I would say this is somewhere in between both of them.
This is a difficult style. Every year, the original dance, it changes what the restrictions are and your options.
I think it isn't as difficult as other years because the tempos are very familiar to ice dancers. Tango, paso doble, we've competed in those in the compulsories. But as you can see, what makes the tango hard is your feet get so close, and it's easy to get tangled up, just as they have done in the footwork.
much will the judges take off for that, do you think?
Well, that could be a 4/10 to 5/10 deduction because they weren't able to complete their footwork, which is an omission.
Magali Sori, Mikhail Stefunin, representing France and getting this original dance underway. Not to their liking, though. A tough ending to that original dance program.
Here in their diagonal footwork, they started off nicely. These are cross rolls and kicks, but this is what makes tango tough because the feet get close. There's a lot of interchanging and kicking. And here, they get separated. She was going to go down into a lunge, and she didn't quite clear the soft part of the boot. Her blade caught, so lost the smoothness. Big deduction. As they're about halfway through the footwork, watch her right foot. She's trying to go down in what's called a lunge, but she hits her toe pick and blade instead of hitting her boot. They separate and weren't able to complete the footwork.
And there's a look at the judges who are offering their all-important decisions here in Colorado Springs tonight. Susie, what about the deductions here in the original dance?
Well, some of the most important elements that the judges will be looking at will be the lifts, the quality and execution. If there's an omission, it could be up to a 5/10 deduction. They're really honing in on the step sequences to watch the proficiency in the skating and making sure that those step sequences cover the ice from end to end.
Now, there'll be two sets of marks, as always. The first for composition here in the original dance, and the range 4.2 up to 4.6 from the Israeli judge.
Well, they really took a hit, not only for the fall, but the overall program was very slow.
And now the second set for presentation, 4.8 up to 5.0. At least Sori and Stefunin can say at some point in the competition, they held on to first place. And so the first official event of this season is underway here in Colorado Springs. Also, the first event in the Grand Prix of figure skating. Remember, we're with you every step of the way over the course of the next 6 weeks all around the world, over the course of 3 continents, right here on ESPN and over on ABC Sports. And it all culminates with that Grand Prix final north of the border in Canada. Our coverage over on ABC Sports in prime time, December 15th. Now, in terms of this original dance here in Colorado Springs, you may have expected the American champions, Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshев, to be here competing. They were scheduled to compete here and at Skate Canada, but they're out because Peter Chernyshев is suffering from severe shin splints, and we may not see the American champs until the U.S. Championships the second week of January in L.A. However, the 4-time world bronze medalists from Canada, Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz, are here competing, and they look pretty good so far. We turn to Susie Wynn, the 2-time U.S. champion, maybe looking more determined than ever here in an Olympic year.
They look so confident here in practice. We have to remember the last 2 years have been such a struggle for them. Last year, they changed coaches, changed style, changed choreographers. This year, they look like they're settling in. They look calm and so confident in practice. They're going to need that confidence as they ease into the Olympic season, but I believe that they're on a quest for an Olympic medal, and I don't think any color is going to do. I think their favorite color just may be gold.
Well, Bourne and Kratz will take the ice a little bit later, but up next, Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov from Russia as Smart One Skate America continues.
And now, Christy Yamaguchi.
Now you can feel like this and eat pizza. Introducing Smart Ones Pizza, a whole new line of personal pizzas. With spicy pepperoni, diced tomatoes with roasted garlic, and lots of cheese. New Smart Ones pizzas. When you're smart, it shows. Check out smartones.com for other delicious selections.
Next Monday, we'll be in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for stop number 2 on the Grand Prix of figure skating, Skate Canada. America's Michelle Kwan, the defending world champion, will take on the other medalists from last year's Worlds, fellow American Sarah Hughes and Russian Irina Slutskaya. The short programs begin at 9 p.m. Eastern next Monday night. Skate Canada here on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. The original dance continues now with the team from Russia, Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov, in 4th place after the compulsory dance. Tatiana, 26 years of age, originally from Belarus. Roman, 26 years old, from Moscow, but they live and train in Newark, Delaware now.
They're opening with a flamenco dance from the Mask of Zorro soundtrack. flamenco dance is a dance of strength, and there's a lot of stomping and flirtation with the arms, and I have to say Tatiana really captures that.
This is a team that was together for a while, then split up, got back together, and are now coached by Tatiana's husband, Alexander Julin, who was a world champion himself. Now a very successful coach and choreographer. Together they have a baby girl, Sasha, who was born in May of 2000, and she was on the ice skating just a month after she gave birth.
I give her a lot of credit because I certainly wasn't back on the ice after having my son. Dance spin has to turn 3 revolutions. Transitioned into a tango. Libertango by Astor Piazzolla. Is really to make these tangos move out. Because of the staccato nature of the tango, it's hard to get full pushes. There are 2 dance lifts required. There's their first one. A little bobble there, catching her toe pick. But great dancers recover very quickly because you can ruin the picture so quickly if you don't recover. Here in this footwork, 1 step for each beat. They're not quite doing that. Terry, I really like their skating. There's so much potential, but I didn't think they made the most of their talent with this choice.
With the choice of this particular program?
I think the music cuts were a little choppy, and they didn't move as fast as I've seen them move.
Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov from Russia.
In the straight line footwork, the judges are really looking at the individual, their turning abilities, and the unison. This was quite slow, but the difficult turns were right there. Those are very difficult twizzles because they're on the left outside edge. But nice expression. They had a little trouble here. You can see they get a little close in the feet. Their toes touch, but nice recovery. He really grabs her, holds her up in spot. Good.
So the first set of marks now for composition. The low 5s, 5.1 up to 5.3.
Well, their tracking problem really did cause a bobble, and that was right in front of the judges. They saw it for sure.
Waiting for the second set. There they are for presentation in the 5.4, 5.5 range, mostly 5.5s across, and all first place ordinals from the judges. So Tatiana Navka, Roman Kostomarov in first place for the moment. Up next, the American bronze medalists, Jessica Joseph and Brandon Forsythe. But first, Susie Wynn got together with Olympic champion Christopher Dean to demonstrate one of the intricate ice moves in ice dance.
I'm here with Olympic champion Christopher Dean, and closeness is important in ice dancing. Isn't that right, Chris?
That's true, Susie. Some couples tend to skate far apart, which isn't conducive to making us look as one couple.
But just how close is close?
Let me show you. My friend Blue.
Oh,
He
hello,
goes
Blue.
there, I go here, and we keep him in place. Now we're going to skate and keep him exactly there, keep connected. If we move apart too much, he falls to the ice, we lose unison, and that's what happens.
You know, it seems funny, but if you want to be top in the world, you got to get close.
For years, he has thrilled audiences around the world. Now it is time to say goodbye. We are proud to present this very special video, Best of Stars on Ice, Volume 2, Scott Hamilton's Farewell Tour. Call 1-877-94-SKATE to order this unforgettable tribute to Scott. Join Lipinski, Yamaguchi, Browning, Kulik. Only $19.95. This is the one video you will always treasure. Call toll-free 1-877-94-SKATE.
Back at Smart One, Skate America here in Colorado Springs. Terry Gannon along with Susie Wynn. Dick Button will join us in just a little bit, but the original dance continues with the Americans. The team that won the bronze medal at the U.S. Championships last season. Jessica Joseph and Brandon Forsyth.
It's been fun watching them here in practice because they're now getting comfortable with each other. They've only been together for such a short time.
Last season was their first together, and as I say, they captured that bronze medal, so not a bad start to their careers together.
They're both excellent skaters, very capable, very strong. Until straight line footwork. Brendan looked like he broke at the waist and wasn't able to turn. A very nice choice of waltz music, has a Spanish flair.
Level one, to understand her, you gotta know her deep inside. Hear every thought, see every dream, and give her wings when she wants to fly. Then when you find yourself lying helpless.
Little Brian Adams, they're skating to right now, and of course lyrics are allowed in Ice Dance, the original dance. And I know you like that.
I think it opens up the door for a lot of creativity. The only problem is once everybody hears a great piece of music, they're sort of drawn to the same vocal.
Jessica and Brandon had skated against each other since 1991. She really didn't want to ice dance at first, but it was Gorsha Serb, former U.S. champ, who talked her into giving ice dance a try. And now they're coached by Alexander Julin. Coached, of course, Dafka and Kostomarov just a moment ago.
Really seems to be building his dance program. Feel as though the altitude's taking a hold on everybody, and everyone's losing their speed here in the original dance. These programs are only 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but it seems to hit them at the middle mark.
Free dance a lot longer than that, but we are more than 6,000 feet up here in Colorado Springs, right next to Pikes Peak. Jessica Joseph, Brandon Forsyth.
The straight line footwork really shows a lot. It shows great unison. It shows the difficulty in the steps. They started off very nicely in their flamenco, but you'll see after these turns and twizzles that Brandon breaks in his waist. Right there, well, there he starts to lose the footing, and then here he breaks in the waist and isn't able to complete the turn on the knee. See how close the feet must be in ice dancing here on the diagonal footwork. They work pretty well together. The speed and the unison will be something that comes with time.
We've been talking about Sasha Julin. There he is on the left side of your screen there. Won the World Championship back in '93 for Maya Usova. Composition marks 4.4 up to 4.7.
Seem a little bit low, but really sloppy mistakes can't be made at this point.
And the marks for presentation 4.6 up to 5.1 in the high mark from the American judge.
Well, they do relate well with one another, but when you're skating well, that's hard to get it across.
So Joseph and Forsyth into 4th place right now. We're coming back with the reigning U.S. silver medalist, Tanith Belbin and Benjamin Augusto, are next. Don't forget, Sunday over on ABC Sports, Smart One's Skate America continues with free skates for both the men and the ice dancers. Reigning U.S. champion Timothy Gable will take on fellow Americans Matt Savoy and Michael Weiss, the former two-time U.S. champion. That's Sunday at 12:30 Eastern Time. Smart One Skate America, only on ABC Sports. Meanwhile, the original dance continues here in Colorado Springs. Tanith Belbin, Benjamin Augusto of the U.S. set to go. Just happy to be out there competing. They had a frightening incident this summer in practice that kept them off the ice for some time.
I think it was right at the end of June, and we were getting used to our new OD. We had just finished choreographing it, and it was the very last lift of the program, and we just lost our balance. The feet got caught together and almost tipped over like a tree backwards, and I hit my head, the back of my head, and knocked myself unconscious right away. So didn't feel any pain, but we rushed me to the hospital. I was only unconscious for about a minute, and I ended up with 2 small skull fractures in the back of my head. But the recovery was uneventful and fairly quick. I was 2 weeks off the ice completely, and 2 weeks on with a helmet, taking it pretty slowly. And then after that, we've had no repercussions, and it's almost like it never happened.
Well, we know how dangerous this sport can be. Paul Binnebows within the last couple of years, the serious injury, and just glad to see Tanith Belbin back out onto the ice with her partner, Benjamin Augusto. Here they are, the reigning U.S. silver medalists. Tanith, 17 years of age from Montreal. Benjamin, 19 years old from suburban Chicago. They train in the Detroit area and still trying to get dual citizenship, so they are not eligible for example, the Olympics this year.
What's so impressive about this footwork is how difficult it is. They're using many different turns. Watch here, they go into a low line and keep up the unison. That's so difficult to do. This is a softer tango, more sensual, more intricate.
Danger in having an original dance like that? The judges don't see as much speed?
In the footwork?
Yeah.
The amazing thing was that they were able to keep up the speed. They do a lot of toe steps, but it is a danger. You have to rehearse it so much and press it to find out how to get speed out of nowhere. Danceman has to turn 3 times, can be in any position. Well, the audience really like that. They have an intensity for just being 17 and 19-year-olds. They've got what it takes.
Plenty of American flags here in World Arena as well throughout the week. Tanith Belbin still in high school, as you mentioned, only 17 years old, and Benjamin Augusto taking some college courses at Oakland University in the Detroit area. Their effort here in the original dance, first event of the season.
There's a lot of warmth in their skating. They're good friends, and it comes through on their performance together. I think the lines that they're able to execute in some of their lifts is wonderful. She's got great extension, and he's very clear and clean in his feet. The side-by-side footwork was very impressive because of the difficulty. They're going into a low sit-spin position and able to keep up the speed and the unison. Well done.
Igor Spielbaum, their coach, on the left side of the screen there. Composition marks, 5.1 up to 5.3, the range.
I would like to have seen a couple more tenths because of the difficulty and how well they executed with that difficulty.
And now the presentation a little bit higher, 5.2 up to 5.5. They look happy with that. Melvin and Augusto into second place right now. When we come back, the 4-time world bronze medalist, 8-time champions of Canada, Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz are next. Back inside World Arena here in Colorado Springs, Terry Gannon along with Susie Wynn. The original dance continues with a 4-time world bronze medalist, Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz, who have a much different motivation and focus in this Olympic season.
For us, of course, the placement matters. We're doing, everyone's out here to be at the top. That's your main goal at the end of the day, but really to get that you have to skate the best. And for us, the last season and this season is we have to do everything and have no regrets. Did we miss this? We want to know that we tried everything, that we are the best we can be this season, because it's the Olympics, it's very important, and we do want to move up in the standings. We do want some results, but you can't get that without making the focus your skating and how you perform and how you train every day.
When you've been through as much as they have throughout their careers, the ups and downs, the frustrations and the injuries, her knee injury just a year ago and the surgery, it would be tough to stay motivated, but they certainly are at this point. Bourne and Kratz on the ice now.
Opening up, they're opening up with a flamenco. Very fast dance spin, very determined. Unique steps and turns. They're using different directions, different feet. Creates a variety of movement. A little lack of unison toward the end. But nice quick feet indeed. This is a very unusual tango called Cell Block Tango. It's from the musical Chicago. It's got a little tongue-in-cheek attitude toward it, which is something different for them.
Well, the one thing that's been consistent, even through the times in the last couple of years when they've lost a little ground, when they've had the issue of block judging and all the unfairness of the judging that they've tried to tackle, I don't think they've ever lost their confidence. It's only been a very confident team.
I have to agree, they are the most natural of all the teams I've been watching. They've got soft knees, a great feel for the ice, and I think they know that inside, that they are natural skaters. Appreciate them trying to do something a little new and different. They're still working out some of the kinks, the first competition underway. I think the altitude's a killer, too.
Yeah,
I really do.
They're breathing very heavily at the end there. Besides the American flags, a few Canadian flags in the building. Plenty of support for Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz, and plenty of fans in the States. There's no question. They've been one of the more popular dance teams for a number of years.
This was a great dance spin because of the speed and the clarity. That's one thing I've really seen improve on them. There was a little stumble, a little misbalance after that, but who cares? This straight line footwork was interesting. You could see they glide, they go on their toes, but they're able to keep up the flow. Their unison was excellent, much better than last year.
So now alongside Tatiana Tarasova, first set of marks, composition, 5.4 to 5.7, the highest that we have seen. Why, Susie?
Because of the difficulty, they executed very well, no mistakes. Their unison was excellent.
Is that the biggest change you see in them this year?
I do. I think they're working better as a team. And again, that confidence seems a little more real than it has in the past.
5.7s, 5.8s for presentations. So Born and Kratz from Canada into the lead. When we come back to Colorado Springs, the 2000 world bronze medalists, Margarita Drobiazko and Povilas Vanagas, are next. Back here in Colorado Springs, the original dance continues. Margarita Drobiazko and Povilas Vanagas from Lithuania on the ice, set to go. Like Born and Kratz, they have been on the scene among the elite in the world for many years. Their motivation to stick around is simple.
The reason that we still keep on going is the Olympics, which would be very soon in Salt Lake City, and that would be our fourth one, Olympic Games. And of course, when you get one time participant and second time participant, then we took part at our third Olympic Games, and then we thought, why not take part at the fourth?
Competing for Lithuania.
4 trips to the Olympic Games. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It really is. Not too many dancers can say that.
Margarita and Povilas taking the ice right now. Your top 3 at the moment. Born and Kratz with the lead. Navka and Kostomarov of Russia in second. And the Americans, Belbin and Augusto, in third here in the original dance.
They're opening with the Paso Doble, the dance of the Matador. It's used for the parade into the bull ring. And this suits them so well.
Remember, all of these original dances setting the table for the free dance. You can see that along with the men's free skate Sunday afternoon on ABC Sports beginning at 12:30 Eastern.
They're taking the ice with command. Very forceful and insistent, just like the dance, just like the music tells them. Dance lift using 2 different shapes.
When you look at their rivalry with Born and Kratz last year, Margarita and Povilas got the best of them in the Grand Prix Series. Ended up going to the final where they captured the bronze medal. But then at the World Championships, they came in 5th, right behind the Canadians. The previous season, Drobiazko and Vanagas captured the bronze medal at the World Championships, so a tough time holding on to that spot.
It's hard for the Lithuanians. Their weakness is really in the compulsories. They have a hard time with timing and their posture. It's in their creative work that they shine, so it's a great rivalry. Very nice in the beginning. Toward the end, it became a little more simple. But great intensity. I have to say, they kept the flow throughout.
That's what struck me. They kept everything, the energy up throughout. We've seen a couple of the teams lose that about halfway through because of the altitude, perhaps. How do you split them in Born and Kretz?
I think at times Born and Kretz had more difficulty, and Rita and Pavlis had more flow. I would say they're so well matched. I'm glad I'm not judging.
Well, they were in second after the compulsory dance, right behind Born and Kretz. We'll see what the judges think here in just a moment.
Beautiful extensions going into that footwork. Look, he's in low lunges. It doesn't lose any speed. Great turns for Rita. Great partnering. There's a lot of difficulty within that footwork. Their straight line footwork had that intensity in their expression and upper body. Unison was very nice, but the turns weren't quite as difficult as Born and Kretz.
Yelena Tchaikovskaya, also the coach of Maria Butyrskaya, alongside. And now the first set for composition, 5.3 up to 5.7.
Well, you can notice that the low mark, 5.3, Israel, Russia, Canada. That's a shame. I think those are too low.
And they train in Russia. What's going on with the Russian judge? Presentation marks 5.4 up to 5.8. Very good, but not good enough. A couple of third place ordinals, a couple of first place, but the 3 second place ordinals, and that's what they'll end up here in the original dance, right behind Born and Kretz. So the next team to take the ice, representing Israel, Galice and Sergei Soknovsky. Top 3, Born and Kretz, Drobiazko and Vanagas, and Nafka and Kostomara. Galit, 26 years of age, born in Israel, moved to New York City when she was only 9 months old and really grew up in New York. Spent some time living and training in Russia. Sergei Soknovsky from Moscow. But now they train in Newington, Connecticut.
They've always been known to have a feisty spirit. Last year they had great success with the quick step rhythm.
This is the only team, by the way, for whom Smart One Skate America is their non-scoring event in the Grand Prix. Remember, you can compete in up to 3 of these events in the series, but only 2 count the standings. So we'll see them at Skate Canada and Cup of Russia as well.
Well, at this point in their career, I think it's important that they do as much as they can. They don't need to hold back. They need to get out there and perform and gain the experience. Terry, they actually have had a coaching change. They are now working with Natalia Dubova, which has been a new change just recently. They felt as though Tatiana Tarasova was not giving them enough attention.
Well, they made that huge jump from 99 to 2000. At the World Championships, they were 13 in 99, all the way up to 5th the next year. That's unheard of.
It really
How does that happen? And then last year, fell back 1 spot to 6th, but much of that was due to the fact that Born and Kretz were back in action.
I think the best things are yet to come for them. They certainly are a talented team. Where I think they need to improve is in their neatness, keeping their feet cleaner. They have quick feet, but some of the placement technically needs to be looked at closely. Their highlights are a lot of fun, like this dance spin is nice and fast. They're a very well-matched team. Tango from the soundtrack from Moulin Rouge. Very different from some of the other tangos we've heard. So much about this original dance, if not everything, is really the music. They still have that intensity. It's great to see.
Had a solid Grand Prix of figure skating last season where they made it to the final and came in 4th. Early on this season, they went to the Goodwill Games, came in 2nd place there in Australia. Galit Chait, Sergei Soknovsky of Israel.
Most of their highlights are quite interesting. This is their dance spin. It has to turn 3 times. Very effortless for them. She's so light, and then their lifts. Watch how easy it is for them. The flexibility for her and his turning. Their dance lifts are effortless. They're both in exact positions at the right time. He moves her with such ease. Quite beautiful.
So now the marks. Born and Kratz in first, followed by the Lithuanians at the moment. Composition marks 5.2 up to 5.5.
And their marks for
Galit
presentation.
and Sergei. And now the presentation marks to come. There they are, 5.4 up to 5.7. Some 2nd place ordinals, 3rd place, even one 4th place ordinal. That's from the Lithuanian judge. And Chait and Soknovsky into 3rd place for the moment. So the original dance is in the books. Born and Kratz with the lead, skating very well, but Drobiazko and Vanegas pressing them. They're in 2nd. Chait and Soknovsky in 3rd. The Americans, Belbin and Augusto, are in 5th. And the other American team, Joseph and Forsyth, currently in 8th. Susie Wynn has made her way over to have a word with the current leaders. Susie?
Thanks, Terry. Congratulations, Vic Shaylin. Thank you. Let's see, great success here in the OD. Does this give you confidence to get back on the podium for Worlds and Olympics?
Oh, most definitely. All season we've been training so hard. I think last season was a preparation for us, and we feel very strong. The programs feel great, and this is certainly a great beginning.
What do we have to look forward to in the free dance?
I think a very energetic free dance skated to Michael Jackson, and it's going to be filled with a lot of good stuff.
Street dancing.
That's different.
Yeah.
How long have you had to work on the street dancing to make it appropriate for the ice?
Oh, we started this in the spring right after tour, and we did it off ice for 2 weeks with a man named Clarence Ford just to see if it was a good movement for us, and then we started on the ice, and it is great. It's so different, and we certainly love doing it and can't wait to show this crowd.
We'll look forward to seeing it. Good luck to both of you. Terry, back to you.
All right, Susie, thanks. The ultimate goal, of course, a medal at the Olympic Games. But Born and Kratz off to a great start here in the original dance. It all sets the table for the free dance. Remember, you can see that Sunday afternoon at 12:30 Eastern Time. The men are next with their short program, including the U.S. champion, Timothy Gable. Welcome back inside the World Arena here in Colorado Springs. We turn our attention now to the men's short program here at Smart One Skate America, the first of 6 events in the Grand Prix of figure skating. Over the next 6 weeks, we take you around the world. Remember, skaters can compete in up to 3 of these events. Only 2 count in the standings. The top 6 in each discipline move on to the Grand Prix final. Hi again, everybody. I'm Terry again, and right from the start, it seems that in this Olympic year, everything is just a little bit different. The feel backstage, the focus when the skaters take the ice. I guess that is how it always is in an Olympic season. But here in the short program, there are 2 men from the U.S. who have high hopes of making it to the podium in this year's Olympics. Michael Weiss, the 2-time U.S. champion, and the reigning U.S. champion, Timothy Gable. We welcome in 2-time Olympic gold medalist right now, Mr. Dick Button. And Dick, you look at these 2 skaters, they've captured the last 3 U.S. titles, but they have much different mindsets coming in.
Well, not only different mindsets, they're different personalities, they're different people, they're different skaters. On the one hand, you have Timothy Gable, who is a spinning acrobat, a young man who can pull off quadruple jumps at the drop of a hat. But what he really wants to be and envisions himself is an actor-dancer, a skater with a little bit of theatrical splash. On the other hand, there's Michael Weiss, who has musical, acting, dancing talents, but really wants to be a quadruple jumper. Now, both of them have goals to achieve, which they haven't really done to this point. The question is, will they? Now, the trick in this short program is to remember that it's a program which judges elements, 8 elements. But of those 8 elements, clearly the most important is the quadruple jump. You may not have to do it, but if you don't, you're not going to get very far towards an Olympic gold medal. And of course, in that case, clearly the advantage lies in Timothy Gable's lap.
As always, in the short program, a lot of pressure not to make mistakes. Here are the 8 required elements, as Dick mentioned. The quad, all important, but you don't have to try it here. At this level, though, many skaters are, including Weiss and Gable. And taking the ice first here in the men's short program, another man who plans the quad here in the short, 20-year-old Takeshi Honda, the 4-time national champion of Japan. Made a big jump last season. A really good year in terms of the World Championships. Was 10th in 2000, but placed in the top 5 last season in Vancouver.
Now remember, the music for this is Sing, 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 Louis Prima. And as he says it, it's feet with a mind of their own. Triple toe. What a beautiful combination that was.
Not a bad way to start. The short program, 2 minutes and 40 seconds in length, and for the men, it's worth 1/3 of the overall score.
Spread eagle into a triple axel. If you notice, the spread eagle was rather uneven, and that caused him to lean on the triple axel. Usually he does that like a breeze. This is a sit, change, spin. Must have one change of foot. And there must be a minimum number of revolutions on each foot for a total of 12. Next move must have certain unifying dance steps, other moves leading into this move, the triple Lutz. Well, that just takes care of him in this particular competition.
And that's a hard mistake to have. It looked like it hurt. Taking a few moments to get back together. And remember the altitude here, over 6,000 feet.
I don't think that's the altitude.
Not the fall,
that
no.
particular one. Everybody says the ice is bad, and that's why they fell, but somehow the ice is always bad on the triple axel or the triple Lutz. You can see a little bit of Lori Nickel, the choreographer who worked so long with Michelle Kwan in this program.
Works now with Timothy Gable.
The final move, circular footwork. Nice music, nice musical interpretation. You know, I really like that. I think he's come an awfully long way. I mean, he's just projecting much more. He's got a lot of splash in his, in his personality, and it's looking a lot better. It's not serious the way it was before. And, that straight face coming out and the lack of impact. I think this is really very good.
One tough mistake, but he came back from that with a lot of energy. A great finish to last season. Takeshi Honda getting this season underway here in Colorado Springs.
Now look at this entrance into his quadruple toe loop. Did you see how tight the legs were and how close they were and how straight up they seemed to be into the body? And this triple axel, spread eagle, is he right there? That's not a very good spread point of view. And he stepped up into it, but the balance wasn't there. He needed more front to it.
And there's a look at the panel of 7 judges working this event here in the short program. What about the deductions, Dick?
Well, they're very explicit, and there are a lot of them. Remember, a fall on a jump causes a 0.4 deduction. Stepping out of a landing of a jump, 0.3, and a 2-footed jump, anywhere from 0.2 to 0.4.
Takeshi, of course, coached by Doug Lee, who used to coach Elvis Stoico and Brian Orser. 2 sets of marks, as always. The first 4 required elements here in the short. The 5.0, 5.1 range.
And now his marks for presentation. 5.4.
Now that's a lot better, this mark.
Presentation marks here, yeah. 5.3 up to 5.6. The 5.6, well, from the Japanese judge. But the presentation much better than the required elements.
There's no harm in giving your own countrymen the best mark, is it?
When When we come back, he had a great season last year. The U.S. bronze medalist, Matt Savoy, is next. Back at Smart One Skate America, set to go here in the men's short program, the U.S. bronze medalist, Matt Savoy, who ended last season on a high, but spent most of the summer off the ice because of a severe groin injury.
My goal is basically just to skate well, to look past what the summer dealt me and rely on my training from years past, knowing that I can still do the jumps, I can still skate the programs, and I just have to put that out on the ice at the right time.
You're never quite 100% when you try to come back. Very short time from a groin injury, and Matt Savoy is dealing with that right now. But here is the 2000 World Junior bronze medalist, current U.S. bronze medalist.
Wired element, the flying camera, beautiful position. Steady back edge, no wobble there. This is triple axel. Nice straight back on the landing and a beautifully curving edge coming out. Very clean, really superb. This combination, a triple flip, triple toe. Good performance. The only thing that will hurt that is if one of them wasn't a quadruple.
That is something that he works on but doesn't quite have at the moment, but he's so steady, so consistent. Last season, Matt Savoy won 2 bronze medals in the Grand Prix series throughout the year. Did go to the Grand Prix final, won the bronze medal there. 4 of 5 major competitions last season, he stood on the podium.
See, he did not get height on it. It wasn't quite far enough reach back, and you could just see the height from where we're sitting, that it didn't happen, and it didn't give him the opportunity to complete the revolution. That's a beautiful position. Cannonball position. And a good back scratch with hands over the head. Nice combination. I've seen him do it better in practice than he did tonight.
However, the loudest applause from this audience here in the World Arena came during the spins.
Well, of course. They're the most difficult to do. They get the most effect, and they're hardest, and skaters frequently ignore them in comparison to the jumps.
They just don't get any pub. The jumps do. Matt Savoy, the U.S. bronze medalist.
Now watch as he steps into this 2-jump combination. First, a triple flip. Nice, clean turn, tight feet, and then does a triple toe loop with a very good, solid edging also. There you go. You see, now watch the landing. See how tight and clean that is? But here, he has just a touch more trouble. Right there, the edge jerks a little bit, but not enough to count anything. And this triple Lutz is where he had a serious problem. You have to do it with steps entering it, as you see him doing right here. It can't be just long telegraphing moves. And here he steps to the outside edge, toe pick. Now watch. See the foot turnover? He's not really up enough. He doesn't give himself enough time. The feet were beautifully crossed, but he couldn't get out in time.
Linda Brannon on the right side of your screen has been Matt Savoy's coach since he was 9 years old. He's only coached throughout his career. First set of marks, 4.5 to 5.1.
Well, I think those are really exceedingly low. He's a superb skater. And when one considers, of course, and that's reflected in the second marks which you see up, which are considerably higher.
5.0 up to 5.5, so better for presentation. The crowd doesn't like those, though. They expected better. Matt Savoy into second place. Up next, the 22-year-old from China. He is awfully talented. Cheng Jiang Li skates when we come back.
According to the rule book of figure skating, this death drop illustrates a good sit-spin position in which the skater's back is straight and the free leg is beautifully positioned. In this variation, the skater spins in one direction and then changes feet. There must be at least 6 revolutions on each foot. In a flying reverse sit spin, the skater achieves a sit position in the air before descending into a spin on the ice.
Back inside the World Arena, the men's short program continuing here at Smart 1 Skate America. Saw some great spins from Matt Savoy. Now it's up to Cheng Jiang Li of China, 7th in the world last season in Vancouver. The 3-time national champion of China. 22 years of age from Chengcheng.
Martial arts music. Now, he's planned, I don't know if he'll do it or not, but a combination quadruple toe, triple toe combination. Here it is. Nope.
Boy, started that so close to the boards.
That's called being ice smart. He was not in that instance. I have been crucified in the past for talking about being ice smart, but I've got to tell you, it exists. You've got to place your moves in the right spot on the ice. Doing it up against the boards, all you spend your time is worrying about whether you're going to be able to make it or not, or he's going to be able to make it. Look at the Lutzes. Even when Midori Ito fell out of the ring doing a Lutz jump. Give me a break.
Somehow you just never forget that image. Cheng Jiang Li has been wildly inconsistent. He's got a world of talent, but you look at the Grand Prix last year, he came in 9th at Skate Canada, and then 2 bronze medals. One at Nations Cup, one at the NHK Trophy. Just an up-and-down career.
This is circular footwork. And look at his edging through here. He has very powerful steps. He's a strong skater. Positions aren't particularly great, and he certainly has very little, personality in the presentation of this move. But he's a good athlete. Combination spin. It's one of the 2-step sequences, a straight line step. Yep. He almost took a little bop right there. See, there was a lot of speed to him, a lot of energy, and a lot of good athleticism. But he's rough. He's immature. He's not refined in any way. He doesn't take his time to complete a move, and it's just really sort of young. I mean, the fact is he's 22 years old, and he better begin to pull some of these elements together if he's going to make a really big splash in this world.
Always waiting for him to light the world on fire. He's got the ability, but it hasn't happened yet. Cheng Jiang Li of China.
Now watch him step into this right there. Move. He just doesn't get out. He's so close that the slightest thing, if there was the slightest bobble on that, he would have hit the barriers. you know, just doesn't make sense. Look right here at the feet. See them turn and cross, and now he doesn't get it out in time. The leg is wrapped around at the landing, and boom, that doesn't do it.
First set of marks now for Cheng Jing Lee. Required elements 4.3, the low mark up to 4.7, a couple of those. And the presentation marks, and those are higher. 4.8 the low mark, and all the way up the range to 5.3. But Cheng Jing Lee in third place at the moment, behind Honda and Savoy. When we come back, the 19-year-old who already has a heck of a following up in Canada, Fedor Andreev, takes the ice as Smart 1 Skate America continue. Next Monday, we'll be in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for stop number 2 on the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating. It's Skate Canada. Michelle Kwan, the defending world champion, will take on Sarah Hughes and maybe her chief rival for Olympic gold, Arina Slutskaya. The short programs begin at 9 Eastern next Monday night. Skate Canada here on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Meanwhile, here in the World Arena, the men's short program continues. Don't forget the free skate coming your way Sunday afternoon at 12:30 Eastern over on ABC Sports. Terry Gannon with Dick Button as Fedor Andreev of Canada takes the ice. The 19-year-old was born in Moscow, moved to Ottawa, and now trains in Hackensack, New Jersey. Coached by Igor Moskvin. Marina Zueva is his mother, best known as the choreographer, of course, of Gordieva and Grinka. So he's got some good bloodlines.
Piano Concerto number 2, Rachmaninoff. Combination of triple Lutz, triple toe. You know, he has a spectacular presence on the ice. I mean, spectacular physique, but he certainly doesn't use it to be able to complete the performance that he does. He's had such trouble over the past year, you know, with various moves. You know, you just can't skate this way, unfortunately.
Well, it seems in Canada that they're always searching for the next Kurt Browning or Elvis Stoico, and this is a young man that many fans have watched and said he's going to be the next star, but certainly his skating hasn't matched that presence, or that camera presence maybe, in his career.
There's 3 major errors here.
Have some experience at this level. We saw him on the Grand Prix last year. Skate Canada, Cup of Russia. Ended up 6th at the Canadian National Championships.
See, beautiful height on that last flying back sit spin. But there's just no finisher to it. It's like he's been blessed with great physical beauty, but not with the ability to pull it all together and display it with some pizzazz.
Fedor Andreev seemed like after the first 3 elements, he knew it was done. It was over, and he was out there on the ice the rest of the way, but not with much energy.
Now look right here at the stretch back there and the turn and the feet going together. Unfortunately, they were wrapped at the end. He did not unhinge his leg and just fell right backward. Now, on this move, watch him step up into this. Axel right there, skidded entranceway, a good crossed feet, but already he's not far enough around. The leg does not land on the back outside edge, and that does it in right there.
Now the marks, and they will not be high ones for Andrea. Oh my gosh.
That's an understatement.
2.5. Do you remember the last time you've seen a 2.5?
Well, there were mistakes throughout the entire thing. You just can't, you know, skate that way.
He's not even going to stick around to see the presentation marks. Tough night. When we return to Colorado Springs, the man who won 2 U.S. championships, 2 world bronze medals, Michael Weiss. Then Timothy Gable, the current U.S. champion. That's next here at Smart 1 Skate America. Back inside the World Arena on the ice, the man who won the U.S. titles in '99 and in 2000. Michael Weiss had a disastrous season last year. He's determined to change that around this year.
The difference between this year and the last few years is my mindset. My motivation level this year is much higher than it has ever been in the past. I think had I even won the national championships last year, I probably would have come in a little overconfident, you know, probably too cocky, thinking, oh, I've won this thing 3 times, no big deal. But now that I've lost it, I have a new motivation now. You know, I want my national title back. I want to be on top where I was. And, you know, motivation plays a key role in success for me anyway. And when I'm motivated, I seem to do pretty well. So hopefully this year will go well, because I'm pretty motivated to have a good year.
The injuries took their toll last season and certainly came back from injury too quickly in hindsight, but Michael Weiss now set to go. Had a great showing at the Goodwill Games where he placed second, and here he is, the first official ISU event of this season leading up to the Olympics.
And the music, Malagueña, some piece that has been used many times over the years with skating. The little splash of theater that he likes to develop in his skating. But again, the question will be this combination coming up, a quadruple toe, triple toe. A problem he's had repeatedly over the years. Look at the skid that he had at the entrance to that. I mean, that was a full width blade scraping the ice. You could see the snow filing flying off, and that put the jump out of the arc that it should have been in. Sit, jump, change, sit. Jump. Camel, fast and centered spin, 6-spin. Well, that certainly wasn't a great start for him at this championship. He fell out of one, avoiding the two-jump combination, and he fell on it completely, the quadruple toe, and then he fell out of the triple axel. Not good, not good. But you can see that he does have some splash and some flash in his skating. I think he likes that music. And
came in feeling so good, though, about his skating and about himself and about changing things this year, and that may happen, but disappointing start for Michael Weiss here.
Not yet. Now, look at this combination that he is attempting, which, of course, only results in the first move, the quadruple toe, right there. Turn, cross feet. You see already the body is leaning too far forward and not in the correct. It was just not right. He double-footed it. You could see both feet hit the ice. They were uncrossed. And look at this axle as he enters into this axle. Now watch the left foot and watch the skid right there. Look at how far that goes around. Good height, tight crossed legs, but my gosh, that was around. And he just didn't have the right arc or the right direction that he was going in. From the lean of the body point of view. And this footwork into a triple Lutz, a better jump all the way around. Nice clean edge landing.
It's his wife Lisa on the right, his coach Andre Wisiger on the left. Had the positive showing and beat Alexei Yagun at the Goodwill Games, but got to come back here in the free skate for Michael Weiss. We'll see what the judges think here. The first set for required elements, that's a wide range, 4.2 up to 4.9.
What they're telling him is it's just not satisfactory if he's going to be, try to make a place on the Olympic team from the United States.
Presentation marks 5.1 up to 5.7. So Morton's placing him in first, third, all the way down to fourth. But Michael Weiss overall in third place behind Matt Savoy. The other American here set to go next, Timothy Gable, who switched coaches last year to Frank Carroll, who of course until recently coached Michel Kwan. Timothy hopes that Frank can do for his career what he has done for Michel.
Well, coming to Frank Carroll, I really wanted to work on changing myself as a skater. The transformation that Michelle underwent while she was working with Frank, going from being very young and being a great jumper to being a wonderful artist on the ice. And I think that Frank is someone who can really help me do that, and he has a great team of people around him that can work with me. So really, I think he's just good at putting together a package. He's not just a jump coach, he's not just a choreographer, but he's so good at putting together a package.
The Quad King, and he hopes much more with the artistry and different facets of his skating this year. Your top three right now, Takeshi Honda of Japan, ahead of two Americans, Matt Savoy and Michael Weiss. But here is the reigning U.S. champion, Timothy Gable.
He's working with choreographer Laurie Nickel. The music, Dance Macabre, Camille Saint-Saëns. His opening combination, a quadruple Salchow triple toe. Both of those were exquisite.
It's amazing, just a few years ago, a combination like that would just make history and set the world ablaze, and now it's commonplace from Timothy Gable.
Triple axel. There, did you notice the takeoff edge again? That's the secret in this, in 90% of all jumps. Straight line footwork. Combination spin, first to camel, sit spin, notion traveling across the ice. That part better centered. His spins are not up to the level of his jumps, where the rotation is sensational. Serpentine footwork. Twitches in his edging as he goes through here. Sit spin again. Rounded back, but better centering. Footwork into a triple flip jump, 3-turn, toe pick. Again, did you see the landing, the toe, that's the takeoff part, and it just slipped right out. Threw him off balance. Butterfly back sit spin. But you know something, there has been an improvement both choreographically and stylistically. You can see him working at that. If he could, you know, maybe straighten out that round-shouldered back and keep on impressing in that area, I think he can turn out to be really a quite wonderful skater. Let's hope so.
And a few bobbles that we don't normally see, maybe because it is so early in the season. Timothy Gable had the back injury in late summer, kept him away from the Goodwill games, but boy, how big this event has been in his career. Made history with the 3 quads in one program 2 years ago, and then last year beat Alexei Yagudin at Skate America.
Now look at this quad Salchow right here from the back inside edge. He right into the air. Beautiful crossed feet. Wonderful, simple, clean move as it lands it and stretches the foot back. It's the rhythm of this. Now watch the rhythm. First of all, the back inside, the feet go up, the body goes up, the down, the free leg swings smoothly around. No jarring in that, and that really creates a wonderful, wonderful combination. Now on this triple axel, watch the edge, the takeoff edge right there. See how it skids out to the side. He gets a good turn on it, a good kind of landing, but it isn't quite as smooth on that pull out as it should be. And now the next to the last of the elements, of the 8 elements required, is this footwork into a triple flip, which is what he's chosen to do. Watch the 3-turn and watch the toe pick right here. You see how far over it was. Good tight legs, but the body was not in control. The line was not, the arch wasn't right, the arc of that jump.
Now the marks. The first set for required elements. 5.1, the low mark, all the way up to 5.8 from the American judge.
Well, I think the 5.1 in comparison to the marks for the technical merits of other skaters are a little bit out of line.
Presentation marks 5.4 up to 5.7. So Timothy Gable, that's enough to put him into the lead over Takeshi Honda, Matt Savoy, and Michael Weiss. Back with more from Smart One Skate America in a moment. Don't forget our coverage from Colorado Springs continues Sunday on ABC Sports. Smart One Skate America concludes with free skates from both the men and the ice dancers. Timothy Gable, the U.S. champ, takes on fellow Americans Matt Savoy and Michael Weiss. Sunday at 12:30 Eastern. Smart One Skate America, only on ABC Sports. The U.S. champion Timothy Gable is your leader right now here in the men's short program over Takeshi Honda of Japan. Then Matt Savoy, Michael Weiss, 2 Americans rounding out the top 4. On the ice right now, Alexander Apt from Russia.
It's Armenian music. He has great speed and energy, but he has not proven himself reliable in his jumps. Here is his quadruple attempt, a quadruple, triple axel, triple toe loop instead. He originally planned a quadruple toe there to be followed by this combination, but put that one first. This may be the quadruple toe that he's planned. There it is. Yes, it was. A little bit of a 2-foot landing, or so it appeared to me. Flying camel. Nice speed on this. High spring going into it.
You know, it was at this event all the way back in 1996 that we first noticed Alexander Apt and his talent, and he proved during that that time that he had a lot of potential, but he's had so many injuries throughout his career that have kept him from reaching that potential.
Listen, it's great to have potential, but it's also a heavy burden to bear. Nice position. That's a beautiful position, the arch of the back. The rest of the spin not up to the level of the first part. Again in this final camel change. Camel must be 6 revolutions on each foot for a total of 12. Finally, straight line footwork, and this has a lot more flair than what we've seen so far. He has a fun personality on the ice. He's been around a long time. If only there wasn't that unreliability in his jumps, I think he would have, been right at the top of the podium. Got a lot of flair.
A little bit worn out at the end of that program, too.
Well, the altitude here is sinfully effective.
Very high. Alexander Abt, 25 years of age, from Moscow, lives and trains, though, out in California, Lake Arrowhead.
Now the first element, a triple axel, triple toe loop. Watch him step right up into this, pull himself up, crossed legs, wide swinging free leg, and another landing with a little bit of a sort of an unsmooth landing edge, but basically very good, as opposed to this quadruple toe right there. He turns, steps. Now watch him double-footed as he lands. Boom, and the left leg toe pick hits the ice too.
So now the marks, the first four required elements, 5.0 to 5.7. The judges are all over the place tonight.
I don't quite know how they come to that difference, but wow, I think it's an interesting one.
Judge from Japan with the 5.0, the low mark. Now the presentation mark, I think there's a 5.9 up there from the French judge.
Well, very French interpretation, I guess.
I guess. So Alexander Abt in the second place, right behind Timothy Gable. So a bit of a surprise as we check the top three. Timothy Gable, no surprise there, but then it's Alexander Abt, Takeshi Honda. Michael Weiss all the way down in 5th place right now as Ben Ferreira of Canada steps onto the ice.
The music, Who's That Creepin'? Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Why does that laugh when you say it? Why does that make me laugh?
Because I guess because I'm laughing too. I like it. Incidentally, we've seen an awful lot of classical music so far in this competition. This is sort of one of the outstanding and unusual selections, theoretically. That was a combination, but a very bad sort of crunch on the landing of the last triple toe.
Ferreira, 22 years of age, from Edmonton, Alberta. Two-time and reigning Canadian bronze medalist.
And this a triple Lutz. Combination spin. Down into that sit spin. And a back scratch, but it's traveling across the ice, which doesn't make it look as good.
Ferreira's been back and forth the last couple of years with Emmanuel Sandou in terms of that final spot on the Canadian World Team. Ben went in 2000, finished 19th, but last year Sandou went, along with, of course, Elvis Stoica.
again, see him not get down into that far enough, and it looks like he's sort of going to fall off that chair. Serpentine footwork. Arabian backspin. Come on, get down into that sit spin.
He still hasn't hurt you. What do you think?
It's an okay performance. It's an okay element. It's just got to sing more if he's going to step up in this game.
Last 2 years, third place at the Canadian Nationals. Ben Ferreira.
Now the opening combination, a triple axel, triple toe. Watch the way he steps into it. First of all, good skid. Or a big skid, rather. Now watch him step and again come into this. But watch the landing edge. You see him leaning out of the circle. The landing edge created a rather rough move, and it did not follow a perfect arc of that jump. The circle that the jump follows and takes you into. Now, in this combination spin, that sit spin is just not acceptable. I mean, he has to get down further. It's looking as though he's having a great effort even getting down to that point.
So we'll see what the judges thought of that sit spin there. With the required element marks 4.7 up to 5.1. It's like Ben expected higher, so did the crowd.
Oh, I don't think so. It just was not an inspired performance.
May not have deserved better, but I think the crowd expected better. Presentation marks 4.7 up to 5.3 from the American judge. So Ben Ferreira into 5th place. We're down to the final skater here in the men's short program, and he made the Grand Prix final last season. Ilya Klimkin of Russia takes the ice next. Back in Colorado Springs, your top three: Timothy Gable, Alexander Abt, Takeshi Honda, the U.S., Russia, and Japan. Right now, Michael Weiss all the way down in 6th as the final skater takes the ice. Ilya Klimkin from Russia.
The music, Notre Dame de Paris.
The junior world champion back in 1999. He did make the Grand Prix final last season. He placed 4th.
Here's his quadruple toe combination. First, the quadruple. Oh, way far leaning forward or backwards if you're talking about the direction that he's going in. And never did the triple toe part of it. A triple axel. Notice how his face was turning out a little bit as he led into it, yet he had a very good control of it. Oh, but that was bad. That was bad. That's one of those disastrous moments when you either hit an edge or catch your foot and you go out, and it's embarrassing. It's difficult to recoup from, and it's a mess. And it shouldn't be marked. There shouldn't be a big mark off for that. When you pull off a nice triple flip like that. You just finished a good 2 other combinations and jumps.
Like Matt Savoy, Ilya Klimkin battled a groin injury over the summer. He's had some injuries, and you know, he was a guy who started out in '99 when he won the Junior World Championship. He did 2 different quads in one program, a lot of hoopla around that. He was the first guy ever to do that, so he was labeled a jumper right away and a guy with great potential athletically, and hasn't quite gotten there, much like Alexander Abt, but much younger. He's only 21.
backwards, and that's a forward scratch spin, the kind of thing that used to be so highly respected and so brilliantly done. It's the only one I've seen in this competition so far, and it wasn't spectacular, but at least it was a forward scratch. Straight line footwork. And oh, that's a spread eagle that was done for years in the ice capades and the ice follies, always by comics. I mean, it was just a famous and favorite move. We never see those things anymore, and it's a pity.
You do see it from him, some innovative moves from time to time.
That's right, and his choreography is really quite intriguing and off-center, and that makes it enjoyable to watch.
21-year-old Ilya Klimkin of Russia.
Now, look at this quadruple jump that he does here. First of all, a turn, step, toe pick, up, down, and landing. Too far forward, if you notice, the lean of the body was back where he was coming from, and it upset the balance and kept it from being A, a two-jump combination, and B, from even a well-landed first one. Right here, he goes on into this combination. Oh, he was about to step into that camel change camel, but the edge went right out, and that's almost made him a member of the Camel Club, where you fall on it and split your chin. Everybody does it sooner or later.
See the scars on your chin. You tell me you're in that club.
Well, I don't know a skater that isn't, because everybody sooner or later misses that forward edge into a camel spin, and it can be disastrous. You usually fall flat on the stomach, and it hurts like the devil.
Wide range on those required elements, up to 4.9, and now the presentation marks for Ilya Klimkin.
And they were more acceptable.
5.1 up to 5.6. It puts him in 5th place. So here are the standings after the short program. Timothy Gable, the U.S. champ, has the lead over Alexander Apt and Takeshi Honda. Matt Savoy of the U.S. currently in 4th. What a disappointing short program for Michael Weiss. He is all the way down in 7th place right now. Susie Wynn is standing by with the current leader. Susie?
Thanks, Terry. Timothy, the top of the program, you nailed all the hard stuff. What happened on the flip?
Well, I tripped going into the flip. I tripped on the footwork, so I had to revamp it a little bit, and didn't quite work too well.
Now this week, kind of a strange week in figure skating. Frank Carroll, Michelle Kwan, the breakup. Has that been distracting to you?
No, it hasn't. Frank has been so wonderful about just coming to my lessons and working like we always do. He hasn't even mentioned it, and you know, just his demeanor, his calmness is really, through this sort of crazy time, has really made it a lot better for me.
What do you expect for Frank Carroll to accomplish for you? In what ways does he help you?
Well, he's so good at keeping me calm at competitions. He's very relaxed. He never gets excited. I can go out and concentrate on myself without him getting like tense and, like, you know, getting uptight if things don't go well.
Now you're going to debut your free program here. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, I'll be doing 3 quads again, I hope. 3's a charm for that, I hope. So I just want to go out and skate a really solid program and show, like I did tonight, the improvement that I made on my artistic.
We wish you all the best. Good luck to you. Terry, back to you.
All right, Susie, thank you. And you can see that free skate for the men along with the free dance Sunday afternoon over on ABC Sports. Our coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern time from Colorado Springs. Coming up next here on ESPN, the 2001 Company Dance National Championships from Orlando, Florida. For Dick Button and Susie Wynn, I'm Terry Gannon. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.